Hello!
What is it?
Welcome back to High Heels Happy Hour.
Welcome.
I'm still Christina.
And I'm Ingrid.
And thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, we hope you have subscribed.
Yes.
The subscribe button or follow or whatever platform you're on. But
yeah,
please do, because it does help the algorithm. All right. And this is the podcast where we talk about anything that we feel like talking about. Anything that enhances your lifestyle.
Yes.
With or without high heels.
Yes. Or different outfits.
Or different outfits, yes. And we're in the 80s with our episodes. So that's so cool. I love it. Yeah. We are can we say that we're on a roll?
Yes, we can.
I almost tore the studio down. Sorry.
Literally on a roll.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, checking in.
So, checking in, I will tell you, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but I was helping my brother sell his home.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we have quite a few realtor friends, but this was on the opposite side of Florida, and there was already a realtor involved. I will tell you,
whose name should never be mentioned.
Yes, until further notice. It was the most horrendous transaction I've had in my life. So
it's pretty sad.
It was. I lost sleep with him. With them.
No, he's not everyone is ethical and honest.
It was horrible. So besides that, I'm okay. But it was by far probably the worst transaction of my life.
So it did increase what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
Stress levels.
Yes. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. No, I know. You told me.
And I only told you 1/8 of the stuff because it was just, I couldn't even, I was going to go to
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how about you?
I'm good. There's life, but now, son has gone back to college, and feels like fall is rapidly approaching. Got some new knitted sweaters for Sweden, and so when you start buying knitted sweaters, it's like, I guess it's. But I like fall. This fall is going to be different though, so it's not going to be as. Well, we'll see. We'll see with this, but I'm going to be with my mother in Sweden for a long time, so yeah, it's going to be different.
The good thing is that you're able to.
Yes, because I work for myself, and doing this podcast, we can do it from anywhere in the world. Literally. So I'll do some European reporting.
We can check in pajamas.
Check in from across the pond. Yes. And so today's episode is kind of like a follow-up on we talked about energy levels last week and how to power up our energy. And really one of this energy sappers are stress. And I think this time of the year, with not only getting darker, but also you getting into all these holidays, and it's really one of the most stressful times of the year. So it's a topic we could it could be like a 10-week series, but we're going to try to. Well, Ingrid is going to guide us through.
No pressure.
The world of stress.
What is your hack?
Oh, my hack. So I have a food hack. And I've been doing it a lot lately because our banana trees have gone crazy. They have produced a lot of bananas.
Do you have a banana tree?
I have 2. And they just keep growing. And they're started first time, they were like little itty bitty bananas. Now they're like full-size bananas. And I don't usually eat a lot of bananas, but I do like it in cooking, and the kids love bananas. So I had to come up with some banana recipes. And yeah, the whole freezer is full now with bananas too. So there will be more banana recipes. But one of the things I did actually in Sweden, I have a waffle banana or a waffle protein recipe that I've done. I didn't have a waffle maker. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to kind of wing it? Because I wanted something that was high in protein. Kids like bananas. What do we do? So I have a 3 ingredient protein banana pancakes that are a big hit in my house. And I know you've tried it too.
Yes.
So I did a video for my society group on that. And it has 3 ingredients. Are you ready? Are you ready? Eggs, bananas, protein powder. And I like to add a little dash of salt.
And I like to add a dash of cinnamon.
Well, it depends on what flavor you're doing on the protein. So you can
Or
use it with
chocolate.
any. Yeah, but if you're doing like a strawberry, I don't think cinnamon is so good. If you're doing apple. So you use the protein powder that you like. It could be vanilla. It could be anything. And then you'd use eggs and banana. And then you just make small pancakes. Ingrid made a huge. That's a lot. So little, you just dab little.
I did get all my protein in though.
Well, you did. But it is super healthy and super easy.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
That's my hack.
I love it. And meet my hack.
Yeah.
Michael, my hack is a little to what we're going to be talking about today is your trigger. Sometimes when you're really stressed, really quick to release it is if you press where your TMJ or your muscle is. There's a trigger point. If you press there for about 20 or so seconds.
The hole here in your...
A little lower.
Okay.
And just press pressure
okay.
and then massage it. It releases a lot of stress. Usually when you're really stressed, your jaw is clenching without even noticing. And I'm going to talk about a little bit further kind of how that feels. But usually muscles in the face and head and neck area.
I was going to say, for me, it's not face. For me, it's neck.
And did you know that talk about neck really quick, our neck muscles start a little higher. And I was getting acupuncture. And my neck muscles, back of my head, were so flat that she almost couldn't get a needle in.
What do you mean flat?
That they were so tense and tense.
Okay. Flat. That sounds like...
Well, that's what she called it.
Exercise stuff. It was so tense?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Chris. Listen to earlier episode on acupuncture.
It was awesome. So, you ready?
Yes.
So,
are we stressed out or what?
Stressed out. And I do believe the world is stressed out right now. I mean, there's so much going on. You know, good, bad. It's just
election year, everything. It's stressful.
And it shouldn't be, I don't think, but we're not going to get into that.
No.
So, not all stress is bad.
That is correct.
And I think all our lives, we usually correlate stress with bad. But not all of it is bad. So I'm going to go over the bad stressors and what happens. And then we'll close out with some good stuff. So I leave you with the good stuff.
Like that.
Okay. So, and you can jump in. I know you will. Whatever you want.
Usually do. Yeah.
But some of the ways stress shows up. I'm going to go over a couple categories. The first one is behavioral. And it's just what you see. And sometimes I work with a lot of the mental health area, so I see it a little more. But it's really great to also pinpoint when you have children.
Okay.
Because sometimes they do things, or at school they see something, and you might think it's like, oh, that's just fidgety, or that's just this, but there's a little more to it.
Okay.
If they do it for a long period of time, or something else follows it. So a few of them are nail biting and fidgeting. Now, I know we spoke about it before, that this is a great way to is it neat?
So fidgeting is a form of NEAT exercise,
Yes.
non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Yes.
So you kind of burn more calories because you're constantly moving.
So there's a difference between constantly moving and fidgeting. Usually it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah, but that's fidgety people tend to burn more calories
I
than
mean, that's why they're so
regular
thin.
people.
So,
But I will say nothing looks more. If I look at a person, and since I work with personal branding, or I think we all have the same kind of reaction, is if you see someone who has very nails that are super bitten to the knob, all you can think of, this is a very stressed out or nervous person.
yes. So, which leads to pacing or
Mhm.
nervous habits. So you notice it because we know how to burn off calories doing these. It could be both, but this is a good way to realize someone's stressed or you're in
Yeah.
stress.
And you get stressed when someone is constantly never sitting still, always moving, always.
Sit still.
You're like, ooh, yeah. And a child, when they do it, you're like, sit still, stop it.
And then if you're used to it, you tend to adapt to it. But if you're not, it can just cause everybody to be stressed.
Yeah.
Sleeping problems. I don't even know how many times we've mentioned,
Yes.
talked about sleep. So by now, if you're not thinking, check your sleep.
Yeah.
You're not listening correctly, or you're not listening at all to us.
Yes.
And then rushing through tasks or making mistakes. So some might feel like you're just rushing just to avoid or really not careful, but that's also an act of stress.
Okay.
And making mistakes.
Yeah.
Which making mistakes makes you more stressed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
This one we talked about is neglecting personal hygiene and grooming. Now, this can be considered a very strong, like really stressed. Like this person is probably needs a little more help.
It's more mental.
Yes. It's past stress. It's past the okay. Well, let's see what's really going on. And that's something that I talked to you about. It's not the easiest thing to mention to someone, even if
it's hard to address personal hygiene.
And even if you're really good friends, it's not.
Although I would tell you if you're stinky.
Well,
I would let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think, again, going back to the episode on friendships, a good friend has your back. Well, she will let you know when you're stinky.
I guess I would too. Maybe that's.
But I mean, if it's an ongoing, then you know it's a much deeper.
Yeah. I guess it's just a little more sensitive.
Of course it is.
You know, so
of course it is.
But yeah. Okay. So any comments, concerns on behavioral? No? Okay.
Pretty.
Next one is emotional.
Oh.
I think of emotional damage. It's feeling overwhelmed and out of control. That's one of the big ones. We've heard people say, oh my gosh, I'm just so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And they tell you what's going on. You're like, really? But what I think is overwhelming, you might not think it's overwhelming. So you kind of have to be careful on how you address things.
Yeah, and you can't, and we've talked about that before too. You can't judge someone else's
or compare
stresses.
Yes.
Yeah.
That gets a little hairy.
Yeah.
Low self-esteem and self-doubt. That comes with stress. Is trying to figure out, how you can be better. Why are you not good enough? You should be better.
Which is why all the FOMO from scrolling social media and comparing yourself to everyone else stresses you out, and your own self-value just goes down the drain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, social media, for that.
Yeah, no kidding. It's again good and bad. And mood swings. That can play into a lot of things. Hormonal, at work. I mean, there's so much, but that can cause stress. You can cause stress to someone, and you can just be stressed by just being up and down, and not knowing Like if I was to call Christina, I really not know how she's gonna react to anything I say. It's stressful to even
Yeah.
talk to her
Yeah.
because I'd be like, yeah, no. Or when she calls, I'd be like, nope, voicemail.
Yeah.
Which I have done that. No, I'm just like, I can't.
To
Not to
me?
you, not to
I was
you.
gonna say, what?
I had to finish. I had to finish my sentence. I'm like, wait, I have to tell her, not her. Okay. And depression and low mood. So mood swings, obviously, and then low mood.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of when you kind of have to check on them too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Huh?
So, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, absolutely. I'm just thinking of situations and people. Yes.
Okay. Next one. So now we have behavioral, emotional. Now we have physical. Physical can be interesting
Mhm.
and sweating more than normal. And this happened to me recently. Remember I was telling you about?
Yeah.
I got confronted. I'm not going to go into details, but I got
Yeah.
confronted by someone, and I really tried. Not tried. I did compose myself because I think I was very angry, but I felt my whole body get hot
Yeah.
and sweaty.
But you
And
get like nervous sweat.
it was like a flush almost.
Oh.
It was just like just started sweating, and it was just very. My whole body was like shaking,
Mm.
and it was like I was like, okay, I know how this feels. I know why this is going on, but that's a great indicating
Yeah. No, well, you can
factor.
feel that in situation when you're under pressure in situations,
Yes,
you can start sweating. Yeah.
and you're like, whoa,
So
let's
it's like,
get some
don't
in.
sweat the small stuff.
Yes, but some small stuff is huge
Yeah,
for
you
other people.
can't
And this one, the
help it.
next one is nervousness. It's just being nervous. And sometimes when you're nervous, you do things. You're clumsy, you drop stuff, which makes everything kind of worse, which I'm going to go into a little detail on that.
Mhm.
Digestive issues.
Oh,
When you're,
I do. That's me. My stress goes to the neck or the stomach.
and it's a lot. Like your
Mhm.
belly hurts, you get bloated, you get uncomfortable. And it's like, okay, you're like, okay, I need to.
Well, I mean, ulcers is very much a stress related. Um,
I always say that. I'm like, you're going to give me an ulcer.
yeah, I had the beginning stages of ulcer when I was 18. Yeah, I was on medication for a long time.
Maybe you are stressed and you
I
don't.
used to be more stressed, but I put it all in my stomach. I'm like the little bit like the duck. Can't really. I mean, if you live with me, you can tell, but maybe not
Huh?
today. I become very when I'm stressed. I become very quiet, and I just do my thing. I'm not the.
You internalize it.
Yes, so it goes into the stomach.
Huh. Which is not great.
No, I'm not saying it's good.
No.
I'm just saying it is.
I am just saying.
Yeah.
For podcast intentional purposes.
Yes.
Okay. And with that is weakened immune system,
Mhm.
which
Yeah, when you're stressed, you get sick.
yes.
Yes.
And you, I think you've said that before. That they're always sick. If someone's always sick, that means correlation is you're probably really stressed.
Yep.
And you're not
Yep.
sleeping, and you're not eating.
And you're
good.
catching anything. If anyone
Yes.
breathes on you, you catch it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go into a couple of points. So one of the best ways you can figure out that you're stressed is figuring out what happens, being aware of how you're stressed. So sometimes, and this is what I said earlier, is I can catch myself now, my jaw is completely clenched.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even aware of it until I kind of release it, and it's so sore.
Yeah.
I've been clenching for hours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even realize. So knowing what your body does when you're stressed is really important, and it's key to getting better.
Yeah.
Is like you said, your belly.
Yeah.
Usually your shoulders are tense. Palms get sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
Headaches. There's certain times of day that you'll religiously get a headache or a migraine. That's also stressful. So sometimes if you go to work and we work for ourselves, so it's okay. It's still a little different. But you'll go to work and you'll be like, oh, headache again.
Mm.
And it's maybe when somebody walks in, you get a headache, or when somebody comes in, you get palpitations. So knowing when and where you get
Mm-hmm.
stressed
Yeah.
is super important, because then you can say, if you can't change that situation, you can change how you react to it. So
Mm.
telling yourself beforehand, hey, I'm going to walk into the building,
Mm-hmm.
and this person, when I see them, I get really stressed.
Yeah.
So beforehand would be, okay, I'm going to walk into this building and I'm not going to allow so and so to stress me out.
Okay.
So making your mind prepared, because what happens is when you're stressed, thoughts come with that stress. So
Yeah, and also a stressed mind don't always think clearly either.
yes. So imagine when you hold on to the stress,
Mm.
the thoughts keep on coming and coming, and not only do they come, they actually multiply. They get worse and
So
worse.
you're talking to yourself ahead of time
Yes.
to
Be stressed.
become, well, I mean, if you're going to try to
Yes. So you either
prevent.
yes. So you either can make a choice
Uh-huh.
to talk your way out of being stressed beforehand,
Uh-huh.
or your body is going to talk you way into a stress
Mm.
hole. So, but that's when you have to realize what happens to your body. So being
Mm.
aware of what
Okay.
your body does.
Like, and now I'm going to start sweating profusely because this is, I'm stressed, and this person is going to, this situation is going to stress me out. But try not, okay. So,
Yes.
okay.
And you
Hmm.
can do, I mean, it's self-talk. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you, it's almost like instead of hyping yourself up for when you go for a game,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Hype yourself down.
Yes, basically.
It's a hype down. That's, but it's true. Well, I mean, once you start recognizing it, not just stress, but things with yourself,
Mhm,
when you know how you react to things, that's like half the battle. Is when, like, oh,
mhm.
okay, now I know why I do this, or why this happens to me, or why I feel this way. Then you're so much closer to solving the issue.
Yeah, no, and it's not easy because your body is almost trained. You know, when you
Hmm.
go this way, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
They always say face your fears,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the same similar thing. Is
Yeah.
that those stresses, you have to kind of figure out why you're stressed
Hmm.
and kind of backtrack and just alleviate it
Hmm.
beforehand.
Hmm.
So there is a science
Hmm.
behind it. They actually have.
So if you see me starting talking to myself, I'm not crazy. I'm just gonna
If you see
talk
me talking to
myself
myself, you
out of.
better run. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, with the thoughts, if they linger, that's what becomes detrimental to your health and mental health.
Mm.
So it's just being aware.
Mhm.
And at times you have to do a body check.
Okay.
You know, hey, why do I have a headache? I didn't have a headache 10 minutes ago. What,
Mhm.
since then, what has happened?
Mhm.
And that's when you kind of are like, okay, well, maybe it's when Ingrid comes in the house. When Ingrid
Mm.
comes in the house, my stomach hurts. Like, maybe Ingrid,
Mm.
maybe you need
No,
to.
but I will say, what one once in a blue moon, I get a flare up from my. I mean, it's almost like a heartburn
Mhm.
feeling, but from what I used to have constantly when I was 18. And that my first reaction is always, well, my husband's like, "Are you stressed? Is that why you have it?" So that's,
Mm.
then it's like, am I stressed over something? And sometimes it could just be something you ate, or yeah. But
But
most of the time, it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. It is a flare up because I'm probably stressed about this thing here.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Your body's pretty
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Let's see. Okay, so talking about body checks, I heard this name, or this I can't get a kind of categorization, or the way they call it.
Characterization.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that that stresses me out. I can't pronounce that. Okay, but it's fine. It's called red mind state,
Mm-hmm.
and it was probably the first time I hear about it.
Yeah.
And this can be understood as a heightened state of stress, anxiety, by a sense of urgency, alertness, or even anger.
Is that why they say, I just saw red?
Yes.
Oh.
And this is really important and very detrimental, and can be it can hurt a lot of people.
Okay.
because this kind of stress is where people do things and after it's done, they say, "Oh,
Mhm.
I was just really stressed, so I did that." And you can do some harm.
I'm sure that has been part of the defense in a lot of trials. It was a red mind
But
state.
can you think about how bad that can be?
Yeah.
Is is that's that your mind can shift so drastically
Mhm.
that you can do something and it can just be a total like snap.
Yeah. But that's what people say. I saw red and I lost it.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's I mean,
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm
no.
saying it's the thing you say. I saw red. I never knew what that came from.
Yeah, so
Huh.
now we know. And recent studies have shown that there is 46% more people have stress nowadays than ever before.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Because of it, well, it's because of the fast pace of things. I
Mhm.
mean, just think about the fact that when we took pictures as kids, we had to wait for the film to be developed. I mean, anything you were worried about, or you had forgotten about that then. Now, if our kids take a bad picture and it's posted on someone's social, I mean, that's talk about stress. It's like within seconds.
And it never leaves social media ever.
No, and it's that fast loop, everything happening so fast. We don't have time to e- think about it,
Mhm.
or it just happens. So I'm not surprised people are way more stressed.
Yeah. And they do say that the older you get, the better you get with stressors. You don't stress as
Totally
much.
agree with that. Totally agree with that.
See, even though that is a study, I'm a
Hmm.
little half and half on that.
Now I feel way calmer and less.
I'm
I mean,
not,
maybe it's not
yeah.
true for everyone, but I think overall, I think people as we get older, we don't stress about as I mean, some things will always stress you out,
Mhm.
but I think we stress the small stuff less.
Makes sense. Okay. I'll leave that. I'll give you
That's
that one.
that's my thought, and I'm sticking with it.
Fair enough. Okay. So do you have any questions on what stress
Nope,
kind of
haven't seen red yet, so
no,
keep going.
I probably have yeah. We're not gonna go into that one. I am not gonna get myself jeopardized and going to jail next
No,
episode.
no.
Okay. So now that I've given you a couple of things that happens to your body,
Mm-hmm.
behavioral, emotional, and physical, now
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you some things that can relieve your stress.
Ooh, okay, good.
So you don't have to do all of them. If you're really, really stressed, I probably strongly advise you to do all of them.
Yeah, and as we talked about in last episode, cleaning your house is one of them.
Yes. And focusing on cleaning your house. So look at the
Hmm.
broom
Oh,
and look at the bristles
oh,
and like get in this um,
it's like a
mode.
meditative state,
Yes,
like we did with we meditated with the sheet of
the
the little
tissue.
tissue.
So this one is even,
Oh,
it's called mindful. This was mindful dishwashing.
hand washing, right?
Dish,
Okay, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
if you
dish.
do
Yeah,
it in
I'm
the,
thinking of the dishwasher,
you
but yeah,
might have to be, you might have to stare
mindful
at the dishwasher.
dishwashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you can't
We
see.
can hear
It's
it.
covered. Yeah.
Just sit in front of it and hear it. So smell the soap or the feel the suds in the soap. Um, when you do a scrub,
Uh huh.
like kind of falling into the scrub, the sponge. I'm gonna try that with Victor, see if it helps him
Yeah, but
wash
there
his.
is something very satisfactory about a dirty dish becoming clean. I feel that's very satisfying.
Some might like to differ, but
It's like,
I
ooh, now all the grease is gone.
yes, it's exciting. Okay,
It's the little things in life.
now this is quite interesting. The next one is something that is a hit or miss,
Hmm.
but I have tried it
Uh huh.
and it works. It's
To alleviate stress.
yes,
Uh huh.
hugging
Uh huh.
and cuddling. The key
Uh huh.
is 6 seconds.
Hmm.
Your
Okay.
body
It feels
releases.
like a 6-second hug. Feels long.
It's not.
But I guess it's not like a high. Because if you're meeting someone,
Can
like
you imagine?
that's a long hug.
You're gonna be like,
I guess like, do you need a hug? Then six
without
second
needing.
is not.
Without needing.
Oh, okay.
Because needing registers something else. It's really,
Uh-huh.
it's interesting.
Okay.
So just like when the kids go to the school, when they
Mhm.
head out to school, they always get a hug.
A 6-second hug?
Yes. Mhm. And you'll notice. Try it. And if you're not used to
I
hugging,
think my daughter she'd be like, it's enough now.
so at first they do,
Uh-huh.
but there is something that happens within second 4 and 6. Your body releases endorphins and dopamine that they almost fall into your hug. It's gonna take a little bit.
So you have to fight to
No, don't fight. Don't fight. If they feel
fight the pushing away.
so if they want to push, you can just let them go,
Okay.
and then you eventually do the same thing, and with your husband.
Okay.
And if you haven't hugged somebody for 6 seconds,
Uh-huh.
you might want to try it. It's a little awkward at first, but it's
Okay.
yeah. Because people hug, they go, "Oh hi."
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's a hug."
Especially teenagers. They're like side, like hi. Yeah. Hi.
Try it.
Okay. Okay.
Less and use stress as a challenge.
Huh?
Use stress as a challenge.
Okay.
So if you get a little stressed,
Mm-hmm.
challenge yourself. Why are you stressed? Are you stressed because you're going into a meeting and you have this presentation? Then you start thinking, I'm going to really rock out this presentation. Like I have something for them.
So it's a hype.
It's a hype.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Thanks. Oh, meditate. I used to get stressed just with the word meditation.
Yeah.
But we've learned how to meditate
Yeah.
with a tissue.
Now I'm going to meditate with the dish. So
and 5 to 10 minutes. If you can't do 5 to 10 minutes, do like a minute. A minute of just peace and quiet might be all you need. It might help a little bit. And go for a walk.
Yeah, that always helps.
And you know, you've talked about it too. I think it was on our last episode how walking.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
we talked about
the
it.
fact that things are passing. There's a name for it. I forgot it, but that you see things passing. It's
soothing.
Calms you down. Yeah.
Listening to music. Now, I listen to calming music if I'm stressed. Some people like to listen to really loud, metallic.
Ooh, that would stress me out.
Like that hurts my ears.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it releases stress. So
whatever
you like to listen to.
I remember at my wedding day, of course, I think everyone's stressed on their wedding day. But the only album I could listen to, and we just played it over and over and over and over, was what was her name? Nora Jones. Super calming.
Who's that?
Nora Jones. She was very big back in early 2000s. Okay. Well,
okay.
I'll play you some Nora Jones.
And I'll send you some of my calming music.
Huh?
I'll send you some of my calming music and see what you think.
I'm not going to get married anytime soon again. So
no.
I'm still happy to be married.
Oh, okay. This one is close your eyes and pretend you're in your happy place. Or put yourself in that happy place.
I don't know. I don't have one happy place.
What?
No. I have many.
Well, I mean, some people don't have any.
Okay.
So pick one.
Okay.
You know, just that's awesome that you have many.
Yeah.
I don't have many. Okay. So release stressors. And this one is really interesting. So this is releasing stressors every day at the same time. So if you are
going to bed at the same time.
Yes.
You're supposed to relieve stresses at the same time.
Pretty much, because you're sleeping. But an act, usually sleeping would be...
No, I'm not saying during sleep. I'm saying just like you're supposed to go to bed at the same time. You're supposed to relieve stress at the same time.
Yes. It helps with getting again yourself prepared. So
Body. Um,
because what happens is, so I used to do a punching bag when I was really angry,
mhm,
and talking with my therapist,
mhm.
they said you should do the punching bag every day at the same time.
Oh,
So it doesn't correlate with anger, it correlates with stress relief.
okay.
So then no matter if I wasn't stressed or not,
Ah,
I
you
would
still,
still,
yeah, okay.
so
I can see that.
I chose punching bag. You can go for a run,
Mm, okay.
whatever it is
Yeah.
that you want to do. Next one is grounding.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you have tried grounding outside.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it outside, or you can do it where you're sitting or standing.
Yeah, you should stand, right?
Outside,
Shouldn't
you
you?
should stand. You can lay down. It's
But
you
you would.
just touching
Okay.
the ground. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're sitting, is realizing where you're sitting.
Oh, okay.
So you're sitting in a chair.
Okay.
Your feet are flat in the ground.
Okay.
So kind of just being aware where you are.
Okay.
And
Being aware of
intention.
your situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And this one I've learned to do quite often is repeat statements.
It's like a mantra.
No, like
Okay.
when you're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like if you and I are talking,
Yeah.
and you say, "Well, Ingrid, you should have done this," or "You did this wrong," I would say, "Okay, so what you're saying is that what
Oh,
I
repeat back.
yes."
Oh, okay.
So then it saves either the misunderstanding or you reacting to something that they didn't intend to say.
Okay. Okay.
And I think we talked about it too. Is you're a little faster to get angry or mad.
Yeah, I have a short
Fuse.
fuse,
Okay.
but I calm down really fast.
Yes, I have a longer fuse,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes me a lot longer to come down.
Mm.
Some long, you're short.
Mm. Yeah.
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 Mm. Sometimes I wish I had her short after. Like I talk to her and I'm like, you okay now? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, can you believe
And
this
to
happened?
clarify, it's usually not with each other; it's with other
No,
people.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, even with each other, we've always talked about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've built that in our relationship.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've personally noticed, especially with working with groups,
Mm-hmm.
and is almost a little sad, is that when someone is stressed or has lived with stress or has dealt with a lot of stress, it's almost impossible to realize or live your life without stress.
Mm.
It's almost scary. It's almost stressful to be without stress.
It's like people that live with drama. They
Yeah.
can't live. They can't exist without drama.
They make drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
Yeah, I guess if you're in that heightened state all the time, it's hard to be calm.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, it fees so good not to be heightened all the time. All right. Any questions?
No.
No? Okie dokie. Okay, so now I'm going to leave you guys with a few things that stress is good for.
Yeah.
So that way it has its good and its bad, but I'm going to leave you with all the good stuff. So good stress helps enhance performance.
Yeah.
So
that's for sure.
Which we understand that, right? It enhances in motivation and problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is good. Again, you use it to your advantage. Next one, it promotes growth, which is resilience and personal development.
Yeah.
So if you're going for a job position, or if you're writing a book or a position, a promotion, you might be a little stressed, but it is with a good
and you always say that. Oh no, it's good to be a little nervous or a little stressed. That means it's important and that you perform.
Yes.
Concentrate better.
Or if you're, trying to finish or race, when you finish, when you push yourself.
What's that adrenaline kick of adrenaline that you get? And I think too, stress can get you out of, it might be on your list, but can get you out of difficult situations that you would never. You hear about moms lifting cars because their kids are on there and stuff. Like you get this power. Hulk. Yeah.
That's actually 2 down. So that's
Okay.
so Christina did that one. And then it boosts creativity, innovation.
Hmm.
It makes you think outside the box. So this is
Yeah, because if everything is hunky dory, then you never have to come up with a
yeah,
solution.
and adaptability.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
it can be really, really good for you. And then real threats,
Yeah.
which is what you said.
Yeah.
Just acting. They always say moms
Running
can,
away from the tiger.
yes, moms can come up with some serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're made that way.
Yeah.
I think
But not just I think it's. I had one of my first jobs. The office building burned to the ground, and we were like carrying stuff out of the burning building. And I remember having a huge microwave under the one arm and like a file cabinet under the other while the place was burning. And then afterwards, it was like, how did I? Oh, and on top of that, I had a skirt on that day and
And
my
high heels.
nylon yes, high heels, and my nylon stockings were impeccable. No run, no nothing.
What a
But
great commercial.
yeah, but it was one of those afterwards. We're like, all of us were like, how did we get everything out? Because we did get all the important paperwork and everything, and then by the end of the day, the whole place was burned to the ground.
And that's an example of stress
Yes.
to work.
Yes.
Okay. And improves memory, enhance learning. So moderate levels of stress have been shown.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's all the
Yes.
dose makes the poison, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. So
But that's like, exercise is a form of stress on your body. That's what exercise is. You're stressing the body to break down and then build up.
Yeah.
So, of course, too much of exercise too will harm your body. So, yeah, no, little stressors are good.
They're good.
Like fasting is a form of stress. Too much of it is not good, but a little is
finding your happy medium.
Yeah.
Or your happy place. And encourages social bonding. And I think the world has an issue with social bonding.
But how does stress promote social bonding?
So stress can lead to reaching out to others for support, strengthening social bonds, and promoting a sense of community, which we've talked about joining clubs.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that when you're stressed by yourself is probably the root of a disaster. Sometimes people like to be by themselves.
Yeah, I'm like that.
But you also tend to calm down faster. So your stress level is really like a short wick and it's turn on, turn off. If you're not that type of person and you linger, being by yourself is not okay.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So that's one of the biggest differences.
Yeah.
And then it does help with short-term health benefits, immune boost. So small bursts of stress can boost your immune system temporarily, helping the body fight off infections. So that can probably be a whole episode because depending on working out,
those little stresses. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not all bad.
Not all bad. And I really wanted to leave you guys with the good stuff.
Yeah.
Because not all stress has always been labeled as bad. But if you think about it, not all of it is bad. And just, again, being aware.
Yeah, I think recognizing your own signs and the fact that it's a lot about how you react to it.
And then knowing what causes the stress and thinking, do I really have to put myself in this position to be stressed? Or can I just cut it out?
Or just do little bits of it. Like, okay, I'll do a little bit. Get it outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So I get a little stressor without freaking me out completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
No freak out. So that is what I have for stress.
Okay.
So we've gone over.
Well, I feel pretty calm and relaxed right now.
I'm stressed. No, I'm a little nervous. But this is really near and dear to me because I deal with it a lot, and I have been one that has been stressed for a really long time.
Yeah.
So not having it as much at first was really weird.
Yeah.
It was almost like I almost had to get stressed just to feel okay. And
No,
it was
that's so true. It's like I can definitely see
like
that.
this is not,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's. I mean, you get you whatever you're used to. That's
Yes.
what you want to default to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it feels really good not to be
Yeah.
stressed. Or
I'm
I'll
all
just be
for
like, you
that.
know what? I'm not gonna do this today. And I'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
walk away and they're like, what did she just do? I'm like, yeah, no, not
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Feels great. So we went over behavioral
Mm-hmm.
symptoms, emotional symptoms, physical symptoms. We checked in with the red mind state. So we went over a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
We went over how to deal and relieve stress.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a couple of ideas. And then we went over the benefits of good stress. So,
Yeah.
do you have any questions?
No.
None?
Mm-mm.
Comments?
I think it was great.
Huh?
As I said,
Huh?
I feel very relaxed, not stressed.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
let's toast to
Toast to that.
less bad stress.
Less bad stress.
Cheers.
Cheers.